All right, we are live for the 147th episode of the
Let's Go podcast. And we are back and we are excited because although softball is the best, the biggest, and the greatest sport in the world, we cannot forget about our amazing growth, probably the most growth we've experienced out of any sport that we have been involved with. Our men's basketball league last season was an amazing success. Jeff and I had a recap a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, but now we're really getting close. We're a few weeks away, 3 to 4 weeks away, depending on when we start the season. And we're here quickly to jump on and talk some hot stove HSL men's basketball news, Tier 1 and Tier 2. We got Jeffrey Suleimanov here, who has some big breaking news. We got David Gottlieb here repping his which jersey that? Repping the jersey that really got Tier 2 going. So how
no.
befitting to have
Advanced power controls.
the
Power
jersey
controls.
that got Tier 2 going two seasons ago when David said, you know what, let's do something that now the whole basketball world is copying us on. And guess what? We're playing chess, baby. So there's a couple of exciting announcements that we can't announce yet on this podcast, but a lot going on. Anyways, Jeff, welcome. Dave, welcome back to the podcast.
Before we start, is my mic still off? No, my mic's
You're
not
good.
off. Before we start, I gotta say, I missed Jeffrey Suleimanov. I sent him a message that I missed him. There's these dry spells with basketball, and maybe next year we won't have a dry spell. We'll see. But I basically didn't talk to Jeff for a long time. I didn't talk to the meat man himself, and it was a hard summer. But the summer is ebbing, unfortunately. It's going to be August tomorrow, which means it's time for basketball, and it's good to talk to you, Jeff Suleimanov.
What's up, guys? What's up, Dave? Avi, miss you guys. Avi, this is why I tell you, man, we got to get basketball in the summer, bro. Like, it's dry out here. We haven't played our last game, I think it was May 3rd, and it's depressing out here, man. But we're back, and we're going to make it. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it live. We're going to make it competitive. HSL, the number one most competitive basketball league in Queens. There's nobody with the talent that we have. And this season, it's only going to get better. We have a little bit of addition by subtraction this season. And then we lost a couple of, but we know some of the teams have gotten even better. And we're going to get into that in this podcast. And then we have, 15, 20 minutes to make it happen?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So where do you want to start, guys? You want to start with Tier 2?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get right into this, guys. So there's still a lot of moving pieces in tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 2 is a little bit more stabilized than Tier 1. Let's go quickly through the confirmed teams for Tier 2.
Who won Tier 2 last season? I don't remember.
Me
I
neither.
don't remember who won Tier 2.
Wait, the Knicks had is me.
Where's your trophy? Where's your trophy?
Yeah, you should have brought the trophy.
So let's go. Let's go through Tier 2. We don't have a lot of time, so we gotta really be a little bit assertive here. So our Tier 2 commits, you want to welcome first Arthur Tokolov, very good friend of HSL, one of the sweetest, nice people I know. They were a team last year that I would say was more to the bottom of the league, but they were competitive, and Arthur gave me his word that he's building his team up to be more competitive this year. I'm very excited to see his team. Then we want to welcome back Josh Zinn, who again is another one of those super sweet, nice guys. They have a very talented team who had a very disappointing end to their season with the Buchbinder brothers and Goldfarb and Jake Lichtman. I expect them to be back and better than ever. Malol, very good team, so we want to welcome them back. We then want to welcome back Yuri Mava, who is on a mission to win a championship. Yuri is trying to bolster his Tier 2 team to make it as best of a quote-unquote Tier 2 team.
Doing after getting Smash House every week for a year? He's going to come back 25 pounds heavier than last season. It's not a good
He's going to look like the picture of the chat picture that Kolsky made of the actual picture is what might happen. But there's a little bit of controversy.
I forgot about that.
There's a little bit of controversy around Yuri's team and we'll actually get to it right now. Of course, Jeff here, the former champs, are coming back in a very different look. There's two players between Jeff and Yuri that little bit back and forth. Jeff, you could talk on that. But Jeff's team, first, Jeff, tell us about your team, about the new look Tier 2 Jeff team, and tell us about these two players that I hear had a little tug and pull between Yuri and Jeff.
So we lost a lot of the guys. We didn't even lose them. They went up to their Tier 1. We had Danny, Jesse, and Sam. They went up to Tier 1, rightfully deserved. That's where they came. They won Tier 2, and they went to Tier 1. So they're doing what they had to do. We lost Max. He's going to Spain to play soccer. My brother Robert said he's done. He's retiring a champion. He's got nothing left to prove.
Robert's done?
Yeah, he's done.
He better stick around the chat. He's a lot funnier than you are.
Oh, he's also a lot better looking, but whatever. We lost, obviously, Yossi, but now we brought back. The only returning guys are Josh, Ariel, and Ezra. And then we took Johnny Kaiko, Josh's brother from Silver Key. He'll be joining us in Tier 2. We have formerly of Malva Capital, Elia Vizov. He's joining us in Tier 2 as well to bolster our backcourt a little bit. We added, another one of the Kinderlach, one of their cousins. His name is Ethan, another big boy. And we added a friend of Ezra. His name is Jaden. So got a nice little team. It's a new team. It's a very young, athletic team. I think average age is probably 19. So they're a year.
Which is probably what we'd love to see. We'd love to see that, Tier 2, I feel like there are two different types of teams. There are guys who are older and more experienced and know the game, and then guys who are younger, run up the court fast. Tier 1 is a lot more guys who are like right in the middle of that. High 20s, low 30s. They have the experience, but they're still very fresh and young. They're typically much bigger and stronger. But Tier 2 is really built off of young.
I got a question for you guys. Is there a max age at which you can win Tier 1?
No. I think the oldest
every champion we've had, let me think. We had Elad's crew a few seasons, we had Rides to Fly 2 seasons. That's it, right? We've only had 4 seasons.
They're all mid-20s. Yeah.
Yeah, we've never had a team in their late 20s, early 30s win it.
So I think
I don't know, I'm just asking, no shade thrown at anybody. I'm 39 years old,
I think 2 seasons ago when Silver Key when we had that semifinal game against Hawaii.
What a horrible game.
When we all just showed up, after New Year's parties, a little bit under, and a lot of us were just not in the right mindset, and we still kept it close. I think that season, if we went into the finals, I think we would have beat anybody in the finals. I think that was our season to win. I think we were the best team, and that was with a 40-year-old point guard, with Dima. I think Dima is an outlier at 40. I think he's one of the few guys that could completely control a game at his age. So it's tough to say that you can't win in that older age. Because, again, a guy like Dima, he's the outlier. He comes out, and I think he came one game at halftime and put up, 8 assists and 9 rebounds in 5 minutes. So
yeah, I remember that.
There are guys. You had Joey Jacobo from my team, 36 years old, who would drop 20 points on, hit 6 threes in a game like it was nobody's business. But I think youth does play a major factor. Last season in the semis, Rise to Fly, their youth completely, it hurt. It hurt Silver Key. They were faster. They were better than us. We take it. We took it on the mouth.
So the new player, Jeff, that you said, Elia Vizov, obviously he was one of the stars on Malva Capital. Had that go down very quickly, and then we'll move on to the second player.
Hold on, guys, just 1 second. This is early reports, or this is what Yuri Mava has turned into over the last couple of months. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to compete for the Tier 2 championship looking like that. So we'll have to see.
That's cold.
Dave, he said kids to our kids league. Be careful. We don't want him to pull his kids out. Elder, I don't know if we actually signed him up yet. I got to follow up with him. He meant to for a while. Anyway, so Elia Vizov, Jeff, you got him. And who did Yuri get back from you?
So when we were doing our whole recruitment, because I knew a lot of the guys left, and we reached out to Oren Mishael from Holy Schnitzel last season. He was on the All-Star team. I don't know if you remember. I drafted him to the All-Star game.
Yes.
And he was like, screw it, I'm in. And then apparently Yuri is his uncle. So Yuri reached out to him, and he's like, play with me. And Oren called me, and he's like, it's out of respect for my uncle, I'm going to play with my uncle. So I said, you know what?
Wow.
100% right. Go play with your uncle. But now you're playing for second place.
So you got Ellie, he got Oren. All right, so Jet, listen, we'll do our power rankings in a couple of weeks to get closer, but we're happy that Jet's back with us. Another exciting team, Ronan Mayrov. Ronan taking the Bulls by the horn, just like we like to see it. Ronan's a very underrated player in our league. Great rebounder, great passer. His team from last year didn't work out, but Ronan, together with Skast, so they're teaming up. I'm honestly not sure the other guys in their team, but we're super excited to have Ronan back, as Jeff's giving a little petty clap. But we're excited to have them back and joining us this season.
Jeff, Yuri Mava might have put on 30 pounds, but Jeff hasn't missed a beat. He's trash talking. He's flying high. He's dishing. He's shaking and baking, as Walt Clyde Frazier would say, with no change.
Our last confirmed team. I'm trying to.
Go ahead, Avi. Don't be shy. Oh, I thought you were pausing for a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, just it started over for a second. Okay, I don't know why. Whatever. There was a call coming in through my wife's phone, which is connected to the iPad. Anyways, we have a brand new team that's confirmed in tier two. I'm trying to find his real name. Let me see if he texted me. It could be this is what he goes by. I have him in my contacts as Richard. Oh, Rachamim, his name is.
Oh yeah. I actually know who he is from
Yeah,
Yogi's
he said
Forest
you gave me
Hills.
his number. He has a team. He's again. I have no clue about anyone on their team. He says they're good. I don't know anything about him, but we're happy to have him. He's very excited.
I know that
He
he's a
texted
very
me.
nice guy. I'll tell you that much. I don't know how he balls, but he's a very nice guy.
So he's confirmed in tier two. So those, we're very excited to have him. Those are our 6 confirmed teams. And let's call out our pending teams because they're pending and we want them to say yes. Tuvia Blisco and Shalom Prager have a couple of roster construction issues, I guess. They need to find guys. I told them I'm in to play for them, so we'll see what they coming up with.
Avi, they're trying to win.
The DRS junior varsity team. They're very interested. They're all the way in camp right now, so he's not going to know for 2 weeks, which is like a week or two before our season starts, and be very tight, which is why I'm potentially considering moving the season back by 1 week, only because there's so many moving pieces, so it might be beneficial anyways. So they're questionable. Then there's we had a kid in Noah. Jeff referred him. I forget his last name, but he also has a young, fast team. He's not sure whether he wants to go to tier 1 or tier 2. So he might be in tier 2. He might be in tier 1. He is confirmed, so we're waiting on him. We're also waiting on Roz and Minaj, of course, our HSL youth coaches and directors. They should be in. They're unsure. Mordechai Balakalakana are looking for a sponsor still.
Mr. Balakana is his name. Put some respect on his name.
Matt Canyon, who played on Balakana's team, is waiting to see on Balakana if Balakana is bringing a team to see if he wants to bring his own team. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at. We have 6 confirmed teams, 4 or 5, 6 maybe teams. So we should probably fall between 8 to 12 teams in tier 2 when we're very excited. Unless you guys have any comments, I'm going to go right into tier 1. Any comments before we move into tier 1?
So how many teams did we have in tier 2 in
Last year we had 12
we
teams
had 5
in
in
each
the
tier.
first season in tier
12.
2. No,
12 last.
No, in the first tier 2 season we had 5. We
And
had
then 12
last
last
year,
season.
so likely be a little bit less. There's a lot of consolidating, moving around
Also,
going on. So from 5
the
to 12, probably about
the
10 this
fall
time.
in general has been lighter for us every year. Our first year we had 8 teams in the fall, 14 in the winter. Last year we had 17 in the fall and 24 in the winter. So the way our trend
Makes
is, I don't
sense.
know.
It's a long, cold winter. Right now the summer's ending. You have the Chagim coming up. You're thinking about your family trip. You don't have basketball in the mind. Then you're sitting at home. You're getting highlights of Jeff Solimanov boxing out Noah Aaron and all this. Jack Ross, and you say, I want to get in that.
Let's I like that. Let's bounce over to tier 1. A little bit more shaky, but thank God things are coming together. First, we want to welcome back the championship losers, but they made a championship. Ari Warsaw, together with Mr. Orbach.
Abizada.
Abizada is not confirmed yet. Might be, not sure yet. A couple rumors surrounding Ben
Isn't he-
Abizada.
He's the best player on that team, no?
No.
Orbach is the best player. Orbach's
Oh, my
unbelievable.
bad. Sorry.
The Warsaw brothers. Who's the Sephardi kid who's really good? Tremendous.
Matazada.
Ben Mott. So they have a really good team. They're going to be even better this year. And of course, they have the coach from North Shore, Shalom. So they're going to be really good. They obviously had a tough loss in the championship last year. They're back for blood. So that's 1. Team 2, we got Dylan Kaufman and the Valley Vipers. Dylan's been a staple in the HSL basketball league ever since we started. They've also gotten very close many times and never gotten over the hump. They made the championship.
This season.
2 Sherifians this season, according to Dylan. So we'll see how that plays out. They've gotten to the
How come
championship.
Vlade's
looks.
never been able to get over the top? What's shot in that?
May I speak on this?
Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Only
I-
if you speak respectfully.
Always. With Dylan, I love Dylan.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue with Valai is that it's not a team built off of chemistry, it's a team built off of talent. And this happens sometimes when you get a full sponsor and the team is just put together full of talent. So you need, like Daniel and David, how much have they played with Zebo and Ibrahimi and Khalili? How much have they played with Noah and Jack? And it all comes down to it at the end with chemistry. Like when they lost to Olam in the finals 2 seasons ago,
Yeah.
Olam had a composure to them and a chemistry and a trust in each other, opposed to when they were playing the championship. And I saw it where Jack and Noah tried to take over the game by themselves and completely iced out, Zabrowski and Ibrahimi and Khalili. And they were just not letting the rest of the guys help out. And I think that's kind of what hurt them because they didn't have that chemistry. Now, this season, I will say Daniel and David Sharifian, I've seen them play for years, back at the JCC, and I know they play with my buddies down in the Syrian League. They're very fundamentally sound players, very smart players. They're not forcing the shot. They're going to give it to the open shooter. So I think having both of them helps. I think that this season, though, that Noah and Jack are not coming back, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, as of now at least.
I think that Valai is going to have a little bit of trouble with size because from what I'm seeing is that the HSL in total, I feel that the teams are getting larger, they're getting bigger. You know, where I think we're seeing the average size of some teams at 6'1", 6'2" now, which is very uncommon for Jewish leagues.
Yeah.
Why? How did that happen?
Well, we're about to get into that, Dave.
About
We're
to
about
get
to get
into
into
that.
how that happened. Let's get right into that. So that's so Vlai we got Warsaw's team. Another team that I thought was confirmed, they should be confirmed, is Chaim Marcus. He's getting back to me. He's bringing sort of his family team. Apparently they're very good bowlers.
Yeah.
He's also getting a couple of scores in addition. That's why he hasn't fully confirmed yet. He's waiting on one score to confirm. But they should be good, and I'm excited to have him. You know, he's a big dude. He's athletic. He plays well. He played on Tuileries last year. We're not coming back. He's a freight train. He's a runaway freight train. So we're excited to have him back.
Just a little bit of
So
artistic
those,
practice.
yeah. So those are three. Those are three teams that are confirmed. So now is where we get into a little bit of
Well, no,
fun.
you have Danny and Sam's team.
One second. That's also fun. We'll get into that in a second. We had two little fun, potentially three little fun pieces, which is why we don't have that many teams in Tier 1 as of now. So we have three combined teams. Three teams confirmed. Now we're at our fourth team, which is two teams that were trying to build a Tier 1 team. Realized A, they didn't necessarily have the roster for it, and B, maybe they didn't have the talent for it. Is Danny Cohn, who won the Tier 2 MVP last season and a champion, was not there for the championship game, and Isaac, who had two teams last season. You know, him and Kia had the team in their Tier 2 team, Altbank, and then also stepped up and really took ahead of the Seremian team after that disaster. So Isaac and Kia are teaming up with Danny, Rob, and Jesse
and Sam.
And they're bringing a Tier 1 team. Now, what I will tell you about this, yes. So now, what I will tell you about this
Sam
Tier 1
left you.
Well, he was friends with Danny and Jesse. I met him through them.
So I'll tell you something about, and you can't forget what's his face, my best friend,
Michael Endler.
Michael Endler. So their team, listen, they're not overly big, they're not overly crazy talented, but I will tell you they have some sick scoring. You know, they're big men, and this I think will be the strength of their team. All their big men are fast. They're mobile. You know, they can drive. You know, they're all quick. Sam's very quick to the hoop. Endler, very quick to the hoop. You know, these guys are guys that are very, very mobile. It'll be if you have a typical center, you'll have a lot of trouble on defense. I think they'll be fast up and down the court. At the same time, they do have, you know, Rob, and they do have
Danny, Kia,
Danny, who are I call them the Carmelo Anthonys of the world in a sense. So they're gonna have to figure out that chemistry, as Jeff pointed out off air. But if they figure out chemistry, I do think they could be a dangerous team because of the amount of energy and scoring capability and size that they have. You could talk on this, Jeff.
You just said it. I had the privilege of playing with Sam, Jesse, and Danny last season. Great guys, very high energy guys, just good people in general. Had a great time with them. I feel like this was the right move for them to go to Tier 1. There was a lot of complaints about our team in Tier 2 last season. And I said, these guys, I think Sam and Jesse are, they're Tier 1. They could be Tier 1 players. Danny could be a Tier 1 player. And they are where they belong. I'm very happy for them. I hope they do well. Just not too well because, we're still out here trying to win.
And let's get right into that because, that's merger 1. That's confirmed, and we're happy they're in. So they're confirmed team number 4. Confirmed team number 5 is another merger, and this is both really breaking news today, which is unbelievable that we got this done at 11:51 in the morning. Jeffrey Suleiman of Silver Key team, obviously had a couple of pieces. One of them moved to Florida. A couple of them, are only playing in Tier 2 and not playing in Tier 1, as Jeffrey is really being a very big mensch about trying to keep everything separate, which ultimately probably is better for the league. So Jeff's Silver Key team is now officially combining with Jake Epstein's Fine Line team. And Jeff, I know you're very excited about this. I know this is literally half an hour, 45-minute fresh news here at 11:52 on a Friday. So why don't you tell me exactly how this went down and exactly how the rosters are going to look like?
So originally we were trying to get together a roster with the regulars, Mike and Joe, Jason, Dima, our buddy Kevin, and we were looking for one more big man, and just things started to fall apart. Joe Jacobov moved to Florida, so we lost him.
What?
Yeah,
Joe
Jason.
Jacobov and Jeff are playing in South Florida basketball next week, baby.
Oh,
With
yeah?
All Swing. With All Swing.
Also, that's fine.
And with what's his face?
Hayan.
And Ariel Ohayon. Remember we had to call with him?
Yes,
Now he's
yes.
calling me and Joey about South Florida.
Ohio moved down there?
He's calling me and Joey now about redoing the scoreboard in South Florida with like personal whatever. We have
Does
to
he
talk
live
about
down
it.
there?
Yeah, he moved there. Go ahead, Jeff.
And then we lost Jason to the Syrian League in Brooklyn. He played there this summer. Thank you, Avi. And he
Sorry.
fell in love with the Syrian League, and now he's committed to play there in the fall. So we lost Jason there. Dima, it's a little bit scheduling wise. He finishes work late, and he has to be a dad. His kid plays AAU, and he plays for high school basketball, so he's always there for his son. So he's committed to his family right now. And so I was left with Mike, Joe, and Kevin. And I put in, I don't know if you saw in the chat, I put the other day, hey, I got Mike, Joe available if anybody wants them. Jake texted me. He goes, hey, I got Aiden, Noah, his buddy, Charlie. What if we do this? And I said, you know what, let me speak to the guys. And just this morning, at our last confirmation, Kevin, he said he's in. So we have Mike, Joe, Kevin. For those that don't know Kevin, he subbed one game for Twillery last season against MS Motors. And although they lost, I think that was the most competitive game Twillery had all season. They actually were
Yes.
up MS Motors for a little bit of the game.
Yes.
Kevin is a phenomenal ball player. He brings that Plantano power, as I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then you combine the two former MVPs. You combine Aiden Gurin, Mike Yusupov, Dr. Mike.
Yes, that's a good point there, Dave. I mean, they're combining now our two MVPs, the last tier 1 two MVPs, Aiden Gurin and Mike Yusupov, now teaming up. You like to see
And the
it.
two
Jeff
leading
mentioned
shot
that,
blockers
yeah.
for the last 2 seasons of Aiden Gurin and Joe Katayev.
Yeah, that's true also. Yes. The question is, Jeff, this seems like a really talented team. Are you willing to commit right here on the podcast that this team's going to win the Tier 1 championship?
We're winning the Tier 1 championship. I guarantee it. My guys are gonna come in.
Guaranteed.
My guys are coming in. Meet Jake. God bless, man. We're gonna get these guys in shape. We're gonna set up a little dinner.
That was my next question, Jeff. How you working the captainship? So I know I didn't mention it before, but Isaac and what's his face are going to be co-captains. They've officially established it. So how are you guys going to work it? Is Silver Key going to be the sponsor? Do you guys not know yet? How's that working? Oh,
I think I'm gonna let Jake
Jeff.
see if you can.
child.
Right after he predicted a Tier 1 championship, it's not a good omen.
We might have to move on without him. Let's finish this up because I only have 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got to finish anyway.
Okay, so hopefully Jeff pops back in. Well, he's out. Let's see if he gets back in here. But, Jeff predicted a championship. They're going to have a phenomenal team, and we're very, very happy to have him along. So there's that. So you have 2 teams combining. So now you get the 5 confirmed teams. There's another 2 teams that might be combining, which is not confirmed yet. They're working on it. That is the former Ariel Swing team. Yoni Simon being the captain. Of course, he lost Wasser to Israel. Also went to Florida. All the boys are flying away, but they're in talks with Michael Crone to bring over Michael Crone and Yormark, who's a true big Zeke Cohn. So they might be combining for our 6th team. And then you have a couple of pending teams, Moshe Aaron Kraft and Tovia Vox. 2 very good players who played primarily in Tier 2 last season, both capable Tier 1 scorers. They're working on bringing a team. You also have Ezra Dubin, who also wants to bring a team. A lot of his guys don't want to travel from the 5 towns to Queens. However, some big breaking news in that.
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
Sorry, Jeff. I was just finishing up with the Tier 1 teams. I was saying that, Moshe Kraft and Tovia Vox are teaming up. They're trying to build a Tier 1 team. Both played Tier 2 last season. Played really well in Tier 2. They're trying to get some big boys. Potentially Ben Abazada, which is why I said earlier he's a wild card. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But they're thinking about bringing it. They're working on it. And then also Ezra Dubin, who really wants to bring a team, but the 5 towns issue is a little bit issue for him. However, we're working on some behind-the-scenes stuff, which should benefit everybody in the league, which we will announce once there's confirmation on that, which should really help the growth of the league as a whole. Everyone who's a part of HSL basketball, I think, wants what's best. The news broke at least a few days ago that the JSL, I guess technically our competitor, who, by the way, credit to them for rocking out such an amazing draft Tier 2 league, although they stole the idea from us, is now moving Tier 1 to draft as well, which is, I'm sure, is a better move for them. That's why they're doing it. But it leaves HSL as the only league in the Queens 5 towns area that's a bring your own team league. We're looking to capitalize in it. We think we could capitalize it as soon as this season, even. So stay tuned for more details on that. We're very excited. Again, Tier 2, we have a lot of 6, 7 teams confirmed, potentially get to 10 or 12. Tier 1, I'm content at 8. 6, I'll be a little sad, but 8, I'm really content at. If you have 8 really competitive, hardcore teams fighting to the death every time, no team's not showing up, no team's forfeiting, no team's not willing to pay and getting kicked out in the middle of the season, I'm very content with 8 in Tier 1. Give me 8 in Tier 1 and 10 in Tier 2. I am thrilled. Especially for a league that's been off for 4 months. Hopefully, we won't have the same issue next year. But that's it. I mean, I'm excited. Jeff, any closing statements before we head off here?
I'm gonna change my name from Jeffrey the Meat Man to Jeffrey the Double Champ because we're winning both tiers this season, baby.
Dave, any words before we head out?
I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I guess something I'll ask the audience is: would you be interested in a draft league next summer? And with Jeff Suleimanov helping to run it, in his image, I think it's something we should start planting the seeds for now. There's a lot of hunger for basketball this summer. Me and Avi are spread very thin because we're running. We had 13 softball games this week. Thank God. It was like that's a lot. That's 130 players minimum. So there's a lot going on with softball and everything else, but especially with Jeff's capable hands, maybe we can have an amazing draft league next summer. I'll start thinking about it, looking for ideas, and it's also a fun thing to draft. We do a draft in softball, and because of last year's softball draft, there's so much movement in the basketball league this year, but it exposes you to so many players you didn't know, chemistry, meeting new people, learning different
The
vibes.
possibilities are endless. You have new teams every season. It creates a more balance, I feel. Also,
I like
because-
that idea, by the way, of doing a draft only in the summer.
Yeah,
Really,
it's
I
fine.
think could help
I
mix
think it's
things
the
up.
way to go. Yeah, I think it's the way to go. It's a
So
nice.
then you have the problem of people falling in love with it and wanting it consistently.
Yeah, we'll see. There's also the 40 and older thing that I'm very intrigued by the way, Dave. Also, even like 4 teams.
I'm 39. I'm 39. Am I eligible this fall?
No, not yet. I'm very intrigued by that
By
idea.
the way, I just wanted to mention something to you. If you ever have the chance, Chaim Marcus, his father,
Yeah.
when I was 17 years old, I played in a league in Brooklyn called the CBL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you told
And
us.
his father Shopsy was the man, was to run that league, and he had a draft league which was really fun, really competitive. I think it was 8 teams every season, 6 guys per team, and it ran for years, probably 20 something years.
Wow.
And there was a brother league of it called the MNBL where I played as well. Also 8 teams, 6 guys per team, and it ran up until COVID shut us down.
That
And-
reminds me also, Jeff. Your friends in Brooklyn, All-Star game. Let's make that all intercamp All-Star game. Let's get it on the
We
calendar
try.
now.
It's
now
tough.
it's tough. We love
It's tough.
We love the All-Star games. The other leagues don't seem to like it the way we do. I don't know why. All right, we
it's
got to
such good
jump
vibes.
off. But
Perfect. I think it was great. I think we had great energy. I think it was actually one of the most energetic events we had over the weekend.
I will
definitely
promise
go
you
up
this,
and people
guys.
were
I will
invested.
promise you this: the Tier 1 championship game will go first this year, because I think that for some reason there's always more hype around the tier. I guess Jeff, you say we have to see what the matchups are.
We'll see. We have to see how this
Whatever
season progresses.
matchup draws in more attendance is going to go last, because that's what I realize.
Tier 2 mogged the Tier 1 championship, right? All right, I got to jump off.
In a sense.
I gotta jump
All right,
off.
guys, we're looking forward. A lot of it will be in
Take it
touch
easy, fellas.
as
You too.
breaking news breaks. Thanks. See you guys.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good Shabbos.
You too.
You too.
All right, thanks, Jeff.